Sheriff's Office on other public safety items. Well, tonight, an Alabama mother's near-death experience during childbirth is now inspiring life change. Katie Dawson suffered a rare and potentially deadly complication just moments after delivering her baby. And let's get you involved in the conversation. We want to know, what's the biggest reason you haven't donated blood? Scan the QR code on your screen or find this story at abc3340.com to answer. The I-Team's Valerie Bell shares how her story is raising awareness and helping boost Alabama's critical blood supply.
We've been very blessed, and thankfully the outcome was not as serious as most.
In July 2018, Nick and Katie Dawson were excited to welcome their second child.
As the dad, the father, the husband going in, I go in with that experience from the first child when everything, went fine.
But everything changed in an instant.
I was about 5 centimeters and I began to have extreme nausea, and then it led to shortness of breath, and that's when they realized something was not right. My vital signs were off, the baby was in distress, so we went for an emergency C-section.
When the operating staff came back in, and I could tell something wasn't right.
It's got to be scary for you and your family.
Very. It happened so fast, and after the emergency C-section is when I began to bleed, and I went into DIC, which is basically where you're bleeding uncontrollably and your body can't clot fast enough to stop the bleeding. So that's when I began to receive blood transfusions and blood products, and then that led to an emergency hysterectomy.
It was discovered Katie suffered an amniotic fluid embolism, or AFE, during delivery.
I liken it to an allergic-like reaction similar to a bee sting. So what it is the amniotic fluid that surrounds the baby gets into the mom's circulatory system during labor or shortly after birth. And that process is a process that can happen very commonly, but only in some of us does it have this really terrible reaction.
According to the AFE Foundation, between 100 to 150 women in the U.S. suffer from an AFE each year.
Essentially, you have a mom who is otherwise totally healthy and normal, and then this sudden reaction happens during labor. And again, it's catastrophic and it's very unexpected because we don't know who it's going to happen to or when it will happen.
Before all this happened, did you know what AFE was?
I had no idea. I'd never heard of it. I knew nothing about it. And even in the very beginning of all of that happening, they were thinking it could be this or that.
The AFE Foundation's executive director, Miranda Klassen, explains it's a rare, unpredictable condition that is challenging to treat, leading to high rates of mortality and morbidity.
You want to raise awareness so that there's more eyes on the problem and there's more opportunities for research and education around it. But at the same time, we don't want to frighten, we don't want to frighten those who may be pregnant because there's really nothing that they can do.
Klassen says in many cases, it can lead to cardiac arrests and massive hemorrhaging.
Unfortunately, the bleeding is so overwhelming that many patients will require blood transfusions. Some
women may require up to 150 units of blood.
Between birth complications, car accidents, surgeries, it's needed more than people think it is.
That's why Katie's survival sparked a mission.
After this happened in the following year, we were like, how can we give back?
The result, a blood drive, now in its 7th year.
Thankfully, we came out of the other side of this with, Katie, with Kate healthy. This blood drive has been a tremendous thing for our family just to be able to give back.
In these summer months, that's when LifeSouth says blood donations are the lowest.
Right now, LifeSouth provides 80% of the blood for Alabama hospitals and medical facilities, and we are currently at below a 1-day supply, and we need to be at a 5-day supply.
Has there been an increase or decrease in donors over the years?
Well, so I've been working at LifeSouth for almost 3 years now, and so I wasn't here, but definitely from what I hear and everybody talks about, COVID really hurt, donations. We had restrictions on us for who could donate, and it stopped for a while. But anyway, we're slowly getting the numbers back.
Paige Howard, the Community Development Coordinator for Life South in Birmingham, says it's a need that hits closer to home than many people realize.
We all know it's critical, and we don't want it not to be on the shelf when it's, it could be your neighbor, it could be, it could be me tomorrow. We never know. So it's very important. I know Katie, it saved her life, and we want to keep having that available to everyone in the community.
What began as Katie's way of giving back has grown into something much larger.
We're so grateful for families like the Dawson family to really work within their community to advocate for blood donations.
Throughout life and the blood drives, Katie continues to raise awareness about AFE.
I just feel it's so important because, like us, we had no idea, we had never heard of it. So just if it can help one person or one healthcare provider to hear more, to learn more, or to learn how to find out more about it, I feel like maybe we're making a small change or doing a small part of something we could do to give back.
In Moody, Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News.
The Dawson family's blood drive takes place July 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 at the Moody High School Gymnasium.